The Spurs asking price for Jakob Poeltl remains pretty doggone high.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so I'm not necessarily sure if this is new news necessarily. I don't know. We do so many videos till everything gets mixed in with each other. This is making rounds, all right, and it's starting to resurface. And we know for basically, I'm just going to say for a fact, okay, the San Antonio Spurs are looking for 2 first-round picks for Jakob Poeltl. Now, like I said, this won't be a long video. We'll look at an article and then get on out of here. But before we do, if you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description. Please, man, go support your boy. Brand new design here. It's really late. It's really late when I'm recording this, so if I stumble over my words, I'm sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this. So saw it making rounds around Twitter once again, and I feel like this is something we've already talked about, but hey, maybe it's set in stone now that the San Antonio Spurs are basically looking for the exact same asking price that they had for Derek White, or if not pretty similar, sorry. And right now, the San Antonio Spurs are looking for 2 first-round picks for Jakob, and league sources say that was the same stance, or it is the same stance they took with Derek White as well. So the Spurs aren't going to just necessarily take anything. Now, here's the thing, all right? This is the danger of this whole situation, all right? And, you know, you might not see it this way, but who knows? But this is how I see it. So Jakob Poeltl is going to be gone soon, right? He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. I feel as if the asking price that the San Antonio Spurs have put on Jakob, 2 first-round picks, I don't think it's a lot, but at the same time, if a team feels like they're good enough right now, it's very easy for them to just say, hey, we'll give him that money once he's a unrestricted free agent. Because the likelihood of Jakob Poeltl coming back to the Spurs or doing a sign and trade, I have no idea if that would be a possibility. This is the perfect time for the Spurs to just go ahead and trade him now. So I do think that this might be a little dangerous, but at the same time, they know what they're doing, okay? And on top of it, a lot of teams are nearing championships, or at the very least, they're competing, and you know they need that archetype to sit there. But the only reason why I say that this is a little dangerous is if you look at, and this is just how I feel about it, but if you look at the NBA standings right now, as of today, you can see how close things are. And as you guys know, I don't even recall, has the NBA ever been this close? I don't know, on both ends. It is so close. I mean, almost identical in the East and West. But the reason why I bring this up is because teams are going to be very hesitant to change up their roster when they're in these spots. You know, like, as you guys know, one subtle change, one big trade, and all of a sudden things can kind of go downhill, or at the very least, you can get out of your positioning. And I'm not saying that any of these teams are necessarily comfortable, because as you can see, the only gaps that we see here are the Nuggets and Grizzlies, gap between the Kings. And then you look at the East, there's a gap from the Celtics to Bucks. But I just don't necessarily know if teams are going to be going crazy to try to mix things up. Now, don't get me wrong. Can he benefit a team? Like, I feel like if he goes to the Warriors, that's a well-oiled machine. They know what they're doing. I don't think it'll mess them up too much, right? But I do look around the league and I'm like, you know, if they try to take on Jakob Poeltl and they mix things up too much, when we get close to the playoffs, man, it's going to be the difference. Like a game, literally a game, or half a game is going to be the difference between, you know, you playing the freaking the Celtics and maybe you playing the 76ers. I don't know. But you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things that's really tough, you know, just really, really tough. So I don't know. I think that it is a decent asking price for Jakob, especially how he's played this season. He is by far, and he's known around the league as this now, as a shot blocker. Okay. One of the better, if not one of the best shot blockers in the NBA, even with Ja Morant basically going out and saying that, like, yeah, I dunked on him, but I have to dunk on him because he's gonna block it if I don't. So everyone knows that he is a shot blocker, and if you need that, hey, you getting him basically in his prime. And on the offensive end, he's not too shabby. You know, he's not great, he's not perfect, but he's gotten much better than he was when he first came to San Antonio. So with the whole Kawhi trade and everything. But look, I think that this is a good asking price. I also think that the Spurs, they asking for quite a bit though. Those 2 first-round picks. I mean, teams want to hold on to their first-round picks. Guys, do not get spoiled by this. All right, this is amazing. I keep saying this. It is absolutely amazing that we got so many picks for DeJounte Murray. That is not normal. That does not happen. I know you hear about like, oh, this team just got this many first-round picks, but usually it's around a superstar. Okay. And the fact that we got that many for DJ is incredible from our front office. So I have no doubt that they'll be able to do the same thing with Jakob, at least get a first round pick. But man, too, that's a high price. But if they can do it, I'm with it. But as it stands right now, that's kind of what's going on. That's what's being reported. We talked about this briefly, but yeah, Celtics, Raptors reportedly interested in Jakob, but that price remains pretty high. So they're getting a lot of calls. We'll see what happens. But him, and we already did another video on Josh Richardson. I feel like those two are absolutely out the door, and it's just the waiting game at this point. So I'll give it to you guys later, man. Support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, or become a patron and YouTube member. Only $2 per month. Thank you guys so much for the love. I'll give it to you later. Until next time.